Through the high school football season here on UTV 44, our Metro PCS pregame show. And we're out at the Airport Boulevard location 7335 here tonight as we get ready for the oldest rivalry in the state of Alabama, Murphy and McGill. We're going to tell you all about that matchup. Two of the best teams in the state, top teams in 7A. So much history there. Both teams impressive early in the season. Go back a little bit last week, Dan, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, as we get you ready for kickoff here. You know, last week, Daphne, Spanish Fort. I think we were both kind of wondering what we were going to see after what we saw at a Spanish Fort against McGill to open the season, and then also to see what Daphne was going to look like under Coach Kenny King.
Yeah, and I think we got plenty to work with now, and this is not the Spanish Fort Toro Network. We're now diverting away from Toro football for this week. I think what we saw was a team that has got a really good coaching staff in Spanish Fort, and they were able to bounce back and look at the things they didn't do particularly well against McGill and try and figure out, get people in place so they could do those things better. I think with Kenny King, you've got a brand new regime in Daphne.
Yeah, all across the board, the whole coaching staff, not just like a new head coach that moved up from a coordinator.
Right.
It's all new over there.
It's all new over there. So I think what you're going to have is, at first, you're going to certainly have excitement, but at the same time, you're going to have, not quite cohesion yet. You're going to have people learning systems that they weren't accustomed to, practicing in ways that they weren't accustomed to. Everything's brand new. So for Daphne, work in progress. They got some pieces. They need to help that quarterback a little bit by blocking a little bit better for him. But of course, Spanish Fort's front seven had something to do with that. They're really good.
Yeah, and I think we talked about with Daphne too, just a really tough three-game stretch to open up the season. It doesn't get any easier this week as they take on Saraland. But I think they get through this week and they'll have a little better feel. They kind of look at the big picture. I still like the direction that program is going to be trending by the time the season comes to an end.
Yeah, I mean, Spanish Fort is a really good team, right? We've got to acknowledge that. They had their troubles trying to contain the speed of McGill, but otherwise, that is a well-coached, solid team. So that was a tough opponent for Daphne to try and handle. I thought one great sign for me, and I think we talked about this after the game, was Daphne's defense played pretty well.
All game, competed hard. Yeah.
They competed hard to the last whistle, and that's the thing you need to see from a coaching staff. You got to evaluate your players. Where did they make mistakes? For sure. How do we clean that up? But did we give effort throughout the game? I think most of those kids did.
Yeah, and so, Spanish Fort, they'll keep rolling. Obviously, defensively great. New change at quarterback. We'll hear more about that, I'm sure, as the weeks go on over there with the Toros. And, this game, we traditionally do this game, the McGill-Murphy game. We've done it a bunch of times here on UTV 44. Again, it's not always usually this early in the season, but just the way region play was drawn out this year. But, we kind of know what we're going to get here a little bit tonight. Two teams, huge rivalry, no worry about who's going to play hard, who's not. We kind of know what we're in for tonight.
Well, I think what happened with McGill last week, too, we weren't there, obviously. We were in Spanish Fort, but they jumped into a pool that was more their depth with a 7A team from here, Mobile, with a lot of players.
And really on the uptick this year.
Yeah, Davidson's coming back. A lot of really good players, and they were able maybe to match up a little bit better with McGill physically. That's what McGill is going to have to face much of this year against Theodore, against Baker for sure, and again tonight for sure against a very talented Murphy team.
Yeah, we are excited to see. It's always a great. We haven't been to Ladd yet this year, and we'll be there this evening. Give you the broadcast. Murphy and McGill. We're here at Metro PCS 7335 Airport Boulevard, where we're pre-recording our show here tonight. McGill-Toolen, their location over there on Spring Hill Avenue, 1270 Spring Hill, and Murphy's got a couple of stores, one on Spring Hill and also one at 2206 Airport Boulevard. We'll come back and talk about the McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets and the great start they're off to coming up right after this. PCS pregame show as we get ready for our kickoff, our high school football game here tonight on UTV 44. 85th matchup between McGill-Toolen and Murphy. And like Dan and I joke, this is number 64 for us doing the Murphy-McGill.
We have done plenty.
Yes, Trey Bendoff commit to Jacksonville State cornerback with us here. Of course, head coach Caleb Ross coming off the big win last week, triple overtime, 39-36. Maybe more fun for the fans than for the coaching staff in that one.
There's no doubt. But, we found a way to win. I was proud of our kids. First of all, Davidson's got a really good football team. They're going to surprise a lot of people. I see them being a playoff team. And, it was one of those nights when we came out a little flat, but what I was proud of on the night when you didn't feel like you had your best stuff, we found a way to win. And then when we got into the overtime period, I was proud that our kids showed a lot of poise. We never panicked. There was never any type of anxiety on the sideline. We knew we had to go do a job and get it done, and our kids did that, and that's what I was proud of.
And I think you see the big final score, 39-36 offensive numbers, but how about the big stand your defense made late in the fourth quarter in that game to give you a chance really to win it overtime?
Oh, that's right. Davidson was on the, I think they got down to 1st and goal like from the 3, and we stopped them 4 plays and went for it on 4th and 1 from the 1-yard line, and we came up with a big stop. And then just as proud of our offense that we were backed up on our own 1-yard line, and we got the ball out and really had a chance to win the game at the very end.
It's just been a great kind of showcase of what I think you're going to see in 7A all year. There's really no off weeks, in this region that you're playing in.
No, I mean, you're talking about Davidson, you're talking about a really good Murphy team. You're talking about Theodore. Baker's got a good team this year. But you know what? As a high school football coach, and we talk about this all the time, that's what makes high school football fun. It's what makes fun for the players, fun for the coaches. That's what it's all about. And I'm excited. We're all excited about the competition. But you're right, man. It is tough. And you get to see a lot of good football players. And I was talking to Coach Murphy and Kendrick Haynes. That's an outstanding football player. Just to watch him on tape. I hope I don't get to watch him too much Friday night. But that's what makes it fun. Definitely coaching this region.
We have with us the prototypical McGill cornerback. We've been seeing guys like this for years now, guys who are really, really fast, really quick, really good defenders, not always the biggest guys, but they give you everything they have. Tell us a little bit about Trey.
Well, you just said it. He's very quick. He's got great ball skills. He anticipates things. He's not the biggest, but he's physical now for his size, and he's not afraid to stick his nose in there. He's just really got good cover skills. And what I like about him too, he's a leader. To me, he's truly really our leader in the secondary. He's a guy that when he speaks, people listen, and he had a great junior season. He's having a great senior season so far. And we're going to need him Friday night. We are, because Murphy's a very talented football team.
Besides just the big game in 7A, kind of Murphy McGill, your last regular season matchup. Maybe you two meet in the playoffs, and boy, wouldn't we love that?
Yeah.
But just your thought as a senior going up against Murphy here in your final year at McGill.
I know this is my last time, so I got to make it a good one. I know they're going to have a good team. We're going to bring it too, and I hope it's going to be a good game.
Trey, what's the difference in being a football player on a really good team and now being a football player on the defending state championship team?
Well, now I know we got to come harder, because when you win, it's a target on your back. So we can't have any days off.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is there any talk, and I will ask Coach Colley the same thing, but can you be too amped up because this is such a big rivalry game? But I know your kids have been in a lot of big games. There's no doubt about that.
That's the, in something like this, you try to manage that. I'm sure Coach Colley told his team the same thing. Hey, this is a big rivalry, but it's a rivalry for the fans. For both teams, it's about the game on the field. You got to stay focused because, emotion is good when it's channeled the right way, but too much emotion and you do things that are uncharacteristic. But same thing, Murphy's been in a lot of big ball games as well. Our kids have been in big ball games, so you think that the moment's not going to overwhelm them. And that's really what we're looking for Friday night. Hey, just play your best. That's all you got to do.
I think, and you've pointed this out since we've been doing high school football, about some of the student bodies that we see and how much they're into the game. And this game is really one that really epitomizes what it's really so much for the fans that it just has that extra meaning to it.
Yeah, and Trey, talk about that, because when you guys need a lift at all you have to do is look about 4 feet from the bench. Talk about your student body in particular.
Oh, it's crazy. They bring energy every Friday, and like you said, when we need energy, we look up to them, and they have this chant. We believe that we will win, and for some reason, that gives us a kick on Friday.
That's awesome.
Do you find maybe this week you hear from more alumni, more of the McGill family?
You do. Oh, hey, Coach, it's Murphy week, Coach. It's Murphy week.
Thanks, because you weren't sure.
I wasn't real sure. But you know what? And it's fun. It's like one part you want to channel that. Say, hey, look, it's the next ball game. It's a big ball game, but you appreciate the rivalry. You appreciate this is what high school football is about. I think the oldest rivalry in the state. I mean, what a unique tradition where the winning team, the student body goes and paints a canny. I mean, that's something for the rest of your life. You'll always get to say, hey, I coached in that ball game, and these kids say, hey, I played in that ball game. And like I said, it goes back to that's what makes high school football memorable.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better than the coach just did, because we've been around this rivalry a long time. I was around it a little bit earlier than you.
Sure.
And it really is special, and it really right there in the heart of the city of Mobile. You know, it means a lot to a lot of people, and that's why we're going to have a lot of people watching.
We can't wait. We're excited. We're at Ladd here tonight. Right now, it's the Metro PCS pregame show. We're out at the Airport Boulevard location, West Mobile. Got a couple other locations, one on Spring Hill, also one further down Airport Boulevard toward the interstate here. We'll get you ready for a kickoff coming up in just about 20 minutes. Rick Cawley from the Murphy Panthers here to talk about their side of the ball. Big matchup tonight. Murphy McGill here on UTV 44. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan, Rick Cawley, head coach of the Murphy Panthers, Kendrick Haynes, all-everything linebacker for the Murphy Panthers here with us. We get you ready for the big matchup. Murphy and McGill, 85th edition here tonight on UTV 44. We'll kick it off at Ladd Stadium in just about 15 minutes. And Coach, just kind of, you heard us talking to Coach Ross there. I mean, not a lot needs to be said about what this game means to the student body, the alumni, and everybody associated with this rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those weeks where you get a few more phone calls, people stopping by. You know, it means a lot to a lot of people, and you really just hope you don't let anybody down or mess it up too bad.
You come in ranked number 7, Murphy's ranked number 1. Really not a lot of, Dan and I were talking about, we know what to expect in the game. You know, physical, a lot of emotion, all that. Not a lot of secrets out there right now between you two, I don't think, getting ready for tonight's game.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, we've played each other now, Coach Ross and I, for 2 years, and we haven't changed at Murphy what we do in a really long time, offensively or defensively. So I think we pretty much know. You know, our team hasn't been out there a whole lot. We haven't played a whole lot of football yet, so I'm interested to see how we play a whole game.
You know, if you were to tell us, sketch artist, I want you to draw me a picture of a linebacker. I think
he doesn't look like one of us.
But he does look like number 3. Kendrick, how are you doing?
Good, sir.
Talk about the McGill rivalry and what it means to you, and just what it means to be a Murphy Panther and play linebacker for such a traditional power like you've had for the last 3 years.
I mean, it means a lot. This is my senior year, and they're the #1 team in the state, so it just gives me a push to go out there and, you know, give my all and win.
From what I've seen in the past, you don't need to get pushed real hard. He's got a motor, and I know he's somebody that a lot of schools are looking at. He's fighting through an injury that he had last year, but talk about this young guy and what his future looks like.
I mean, it's bright. I mean, he doesn't need football to go to college. I mean, he's got a high ECT, high GPA. He's going to be successful with or without it. He just happens to be a really good football player and just a great person. I mean, you know, no matter what we do at Murphy, he's going to be a leader. We have a fundraiser. He sells the most. I mean, that's just what kind of kid he is, and he's been a pleasure to coach. And, you know, I can't take any credit. He walked on our campus as a freshman and was good, and he's remained good. So I can just say that I haven't, you know, screwed that up yet.
So does it, as it is your senior year, and not just for the McGill game, but just, you know, do you, as Dan was talking about with Trey Bendoff there, does it feel different as a senior and knowing this is your last year to play at Murphy?
Yes, sir, it does, because this is the last opportunity to play them. So, you know, everyone wants to go out with the W.
When you look at, you know they're defending state champions, you know how strong they've looked in the first few games, but also what are you seeing? What's defensively the key for the Panthers to beat McGill tonight?
Play physical. Don't have a lot of mistakes. So that's it.
What did you expect him to say? I mean, he's a guy, his whole game is about being physical and challenging people at the point of contact. First of all, he gets to them with his speed, and then he challenges them, and that's what this game is going to be all about tonight. It's going to be a lot of collisions. There's a lot of speed and talent on the field on both sides.
Yeah, there's tons of talent on their side. I know that. I used to watch them on film, and it's like they were wearing all orange in one of the films we watched, and somebody said, I swear that's Clemson. That is not McGill. That is Clemson. So that's, you know, they are very talented, and, you know, Coach Ross and his staff does a great job. So it's a great opportunity and a great challenge, and, you know, we're going to go do our best.
How about, you know, usually don't see this rivalry early. It's usually later in the year. I mean, I know it's just however the schedule works out, but any pros or cons to having this big rivalry game so early?
Well, I mean, when it's in October and you're sweating real bad because of the game, people don't really think a whole, you know, they're like, why is he so nervous? But now I got an excuse. It's just real hot. I'm not nervous. It's just hot.
I got to tell you, though, this one is always a very interesting pregame because when we're down on the field, as Jim and I get a chance to do that before all the games, this one always has a different feel, whether it's at the Lip or like we're going to be our first trip to Ladd this year. You can kind of feel it coming off the kids. And not just this game, but again, we talked to Coach Ross about this. Man, there are a lot of good teams in the region. This is one bus stop on a little treacherous drive, right?
Yeah, and you try not to get, however the game turns out, you can't get too high, you can't get too low. Because, I mean, we got Mary Montgomery the following week and Baker the following week and Saraland after that. So, I mean, every game is just, it's just a war. So, I mean, you want to put a lot into everything that you do, and it's Murphy McGill and you want to win, but at the same time, it is a whole season.
You had the Jamboree the first week, had the win to open the season last week. So your second game, their third game, and a lot of coaches see a lot of improvement between week 1 and week 2. I imagine, like you were saying, this is a great chance to kind of really get a feel for where your team's at here early in the season.
Well, we better see a lot of improvement from last week to this week. So, you watch our film and you don't get caught up on the results, and you watch what was going on. We got a lot to fix in a short amount of time to be able to play with guys like that.
I always love when Coach Holtz is here too. Coach the Murphy Panthers, always just downplaying his team, and they always look great on Friday night.
Right.
Great to see you, my friend. Be safe out there tonight, Coach. Stay here for some silly questions. We'll bring Caleb Ross here as well. We're about 10 minutes away now from kickoff at Ladd Stadium. It's our UTV 44 Game of the Week, Murphy and McGill, edition number 85 tonight. It's kind of like before the game, our favorite part, being down there in the field, like in the commercials. It's our favorite part. Hey, we are here. It's our Metro PCS pregame show. We're at 7335 Airport Boulevard, out toward just shy of Schillinger Road, McGill-Toolen. They've got their team store, 1270 Spring Hill Avenue in Mobile. Murphy can also go there as well. They'll let you come to any of them, but they go there as well. And then also at 2206 Airport Boulevard, closer down to the interstate for Metro PCS as we get ready for the big matchup here tonight. Going to see who gets to paint the cannon, Murphy and McGill here on UTV 44. We're always excited to do this game. 7A matchup, number 1 in the state, number 7 in the state, number 9 according to a national poll here for McGill-Toolen. So they're on a great run. Of course, we're anxious to see Murphy. And we were just talking about, we know what to expect, but you brought up a great point talking with Coach Colley there. It's like you do feel it when we're just strolling around before the game on the field. You really do feel it's different this one.
Yeah, it's one of those regular season games that feels like a playoff game. It's hard to describe. But something is emanating from the coaching staffs and the players, and even from the stands, that we're watching this one real close. So we're going to be playing in this one with every bit of intensity that we've got. So when you're down on the field before the games and we'll get a chance to talk to you guys, it's always a lot of fun. Any game, but this game, it means a lot to us, even just to broadcast it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not pun intended, there's a buzz in the air whenever you play McGill and you're at Murphy, and we've been pumping it into the locker room and the weight room, the buzzing sound all week, trying to rile them up. But it's a big game and it's a lot of fun.
Hey, it's your 18th, 18th out of 85, right?
18.
How about that? Well, wow. Good luck tonight. Hey, I just have to tell you before we get to these silly questions. So we have fans who will email us during the broadcast, and during the game against Spanish Fort to open the season, guy emails in and he said, can't remember his name, but he said, hey, I'm McGill class of 74. When did they get good? They stunk when I was here. It was like.
I don't know if I was so shocked by the email or so shocked that you read it on the air.
Well, I was like, have you flipped through lately? They've had a good little run. All right, our silly questions that we asked here of both coaches. Caleb's already been through it, so we'll start with Rick. Ever owned a waterbed?
Yes, I did.
You?
No.
No?
This guy's so groovy.
No, you?
No.
I had one for the longest time. All right, ever eaten frog legs?
I have.
Of course, I'm married to Louisiana woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have.
Oh, love frog legs. All right, speaking of that, better cook, mother or grandmother?
Mother.
Grandmother.
Mother.
Yeah, mom for sure. All right, let's see. Lived in another state. Ever lived in another state?
I have.
Where'd you live?
Mississippi.
Okay.
No.
No?
Alabama.
Yeah, you bounced around a bit.
Georgia.
Yeah, I live in Georgia. All right, I'm a Yankee, came down here from Illinois, won't leave. Something they should teach in high school but don't today.
Ooh, probably balancing a checkbook, which I guess they got classes to do that, but probably everybody.
I would take that class. I would take that class right now, today at 45.
I don't general manners, etiquette maybe.
Yeah.
I took a class called Bachelor's Living my senior year. They taught me how to like cook and clean. Or this was the only. I think it was the only.
I think they had an idea you were going to be a bachelor a long
No
time.
question. No question. All right. Anything you look back in your life and say, what was I thinking at that moment?
I saw a picture of me in high school, and I had long, shaggy hair and sideburns down to here and a goatee. And I was like, man,
Can we please pull up that picture?
man, I look dumb.
Oh, I bet his wife can help us with that one. How about you?
I don't know, probably wearing the stuff my mom used to make because we were poor, so she made me shorts and like a Coca-Cola sweatshirt where it was like crooked Coca-Cola. Wearing that stuff was probably big.
All right, this is one I always have some perfect temperature for your thermostat to be set on at the house.
68.
Oh, I'd say 70.
Wow.
About 70.
I'm like 74, 75. I can't deal with anything cold. Nothing.
my brother.
Ever gone surfing?
No.
Surfer?
No.
Yeah, you ever? Yeah, me either. Last one. Ever gone to Europe? Ever been in Europe?
No, I'd love to.
Europe?
Rome, Georgia.
Not really remotely even close.
That's why I just wanted to give you an answer.
Kickoff tonight.
wrap it
It is
up.
Murphy and McGill here on UTV 44. We can't wait. The Yellow Jackets, Coach Caleb Ross, Coach Rick Colley with Murphy. Dan and I are going to run up to the press box. Vic Lockett back from his one-game suspension. We're glad to have him back in the press box tonight. Kickoff coming up. The oldest rivalry in the state comes up next here on UTV 44.